Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote, in chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply to those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes, or you can choose to remain silent and be a lurker, and that's okay. Let's see. We got Harold throwing in some emotes before we even got started. Sax in the chat saying Merry Christmas, chat. Merry Christmas to you. We got Aristophan saying ho, 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 ho. We got Lord Crashington saying, hey, hey. Lashbrook throwing in the chats. Jam is here. Of course, we got Lashbrook saying Merry Christmas. And we got Aristophan throwing in those emotes. And appreciate that. So, yes. Merry Christmas to all that choose to make that their holiday of choice. Of course, we had Hanukkah earlier. We're getting in to some of the other end of the year festivities for various peoples all across the world. There's so many different religious and cultural cool events happening at the end of the year because you got to look forward to, except for those religions and countries and societal celebrations that don't kick off till next year because their calendars are different. And for those folks, I say, I'll see you soon. I'm Pat Bear. If you're new, I don't know, you might be. Two things to know. One, yes, I do have a very tiny artificial tree in the background that I put on my bed frame because I was looking for a place to put it. And two, you might notice something. Maybe you won't. Maybe you won't notice at all. But I think you'll notice it here more than you'll notice when we go to the overhead. But I have figured out something to make my camera look better. And that is fiddling in OBS with forcing it to recognize this HD camera as an HD camera. Because it doesn't always want to do that. So you may say, like, well, Pat, you're not zoomed in as you normally are, and that's fine. This is better. Truth be told, I was recording something that will come out next year, and I needed to be to hit certain specs for that, so that when I start editing it, it'll look good. So went through some changes. I think it looks better. Maybe you won't even notice. I don't know. Overhead's going to be what the overhead is. I think this is technically better. And I was zoomed in more than I wanted to. Let's be real. I'm gonna move this. This is just hitting me in the back of the head, and I didn't like that, so I'll just put it over there. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well on this Christmas Eve. What's on the agenda for tonight? You might be asking yourself. Well, it's Lego. I got a Lego set that I got at Target. I think it comes out every year. It's a 2-in-1. We're going to be building one of two, which is the Christmas wreath. Now, will we finish this tonight? I don't know. If we don't, we'll finish it up on Saturday, which is Christmas Day evening. So we'll do that. There's also more like of an Advent kind of wreath thing that you can build with this. So there'll be some parts that we won't use because like basically all the candle parts, we won't really worry about that. And this does have the part to make it so we could hang it, but I don't trust it. I think it's going to be really heavy. I wouldn't hang this up. It's mostly just going to be fun, and then I'll disassemble it and box it away, and then next Christmas we'll build the other one. And that sounds fucking rad. I got this at Target, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's a Target exclusive. I love doing seasonal stuff. You know me, trying to get those brickheads around the holidays. We've already done a Santa brickhead. I don't think there's another. I think we've also done a rain. Either there isn't a reindeer brickhead, or we've done one. That does look a little flimsy. Yeah, we'll see as we're building it. It's actually the first step in it is building it. I'll like hold it by it and see, but I'm not believing it. I think that's just like. I would say if I was going to hang it up, I would do my own like fishing line or something. Let me just check a couple little things before we get into the build. All right, yeah, we got a few friends joining us tonight. Some new faces around, some old favorites. Excited for it. I'm gonna go ahead and retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight, and then we'll just get into it. Let's just like get into it, like build and stuff. Go for it. Oh, got a nice retweet by Sarah Benincasa. A lovely, wonderful comedian, writer, actor. Just like good person, just nice, just a nice person. So nice. Got a retweet. All right, we're gonna go to Maine. Hell yeah. Okay, so gotta turn this camera up a little. All right, so I got to adjust my intro camera so that it is not, that doesn't happen next time I go back to my intro. It's fine. Um, yeah, so a little more HD now in the camera, which is good because I gotta look good. I'm broadcasting live. Anyway, you can see here it's a 2-in-1. You can see the photo we're doing, which is that wreath. Gonna put the instructions over here because there's a glare if I do it over there. Haven't done Lego in a little bit. What are my tools for this? Just the brick separator. This kit did come with its own brick separator, so it joins the collection of brick separators, which is the best thing to happen to Lego in 20 years, you know, or more. Excited to have this lovely tool for our anything separating needs. But let's get into it. I already got some pieces here for the first step. And I am excited to build this. I like doing holiday Lego. It's fun to do something a little different. You know, we've done like, there was a Valentine's Day where I did the Love Phantom, which is like one of the Build series variations on the Death Site, but I had love in the name of it. Like, oh, that's fun. You know, this Halloween we did the Frankenstein Lego briquettes. Like those things that to me are just like fun. Okay, and then so this is very particular. We're going to see a lot of these, and they're very particular about how they want it to go because they don't want to do it the wrong way because they won't snap and interconnect. So you're supposed to like, that's how we're going to get the you know, the circle out of bricks is to do these. So got this up. I did my you know, got separated all these by color and then by piece. Already nulled everything, so don't have to worry about that. And then, yeah, just to make things easier, I did that today. It's actually, honestly, nice for me to do because it's like pretty mindless and just like a fun little activity while I'm listening, like, you know, watching a video or listening to a podcast or something where I don't have to pay super attention to it. All right, so you can see, like, we'll see when this gets all connected, but this doesn't feel particularly secure. We'll go. A lot of green in this kit. Yeah, Lord Crashington brings up a good point. There's a lot of green in it. So much green. Not that many pieces of a color, the black color, which, as someone who's built a lot of Star Wars Lego, there's no dark gray. This is the only gray in the kit. It's this one color, this light gray. No dark gray and very little black. And that makes sense for what we're building, which is a wreath. But for me, who's used to that, like, that is actually surprising. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. All right, so that's that. And then we're putting some pieces on here. Gotta do it. Gotta have a lot of these kind of like 90-degree angles so that you can, you know, we're doing something that this Lego isn't necessarily designed to do, which is like flat, like, it's, you know, we want to build up or out and not like around. That's generally not like Lego's style. Two colors green here now. We got some light green and some dark green that we'll put in. Where is the tower of light green 1x2s? Where are my 1x2s? Where are my green 1x2s? I got all this green over here. Take a second here. Must be hidden by something else. I need a green a light green 1x2. Here they are. I found them. There's a lot of green, as mentioned. I found my green 1x2s. Couldn't find them for a second. Green 1x2s, and then my 2x4s. I don't often refer to them. I tend to not often refer to them by like their number by numbers, but it is helpful, especially if you're going to do something like Keep Talking Nobody Bricks Pros, where someone doesn't have the instructions and somebody else has the instructions and is trying to tell them what to do. If you're getting into that kind of a scenario, then it is important to have like some shared idea of what the pieces are called. It's helpful. That's a pro tip from me to you. What's going on with me? Okay, so let's just get into it right out of the way. No spoiler talk. No spoilers in chat from you. I'm pointing at my other monitor. You don't know that. No spoilers in chat from you. No spoilers out of my mouth right now. But I can tell you. Oh, and then we're building. So we built one of these, and then they're like, hey, build this next thing 15 times. So we're going to build this few-step process here 15 times. So I think let's just build one, and then we'll start building multiples. But we'll put this aside for now. So, as I said, no spoilers in chat, no spoilers out of my mouth. This is like broad overview, personal style. We're not talking about moments, we're talking about broad thoughts. Hey, I really like the new Matrix movie, and I'm so happy I like the new Matrix movie. Now, I'm not coming into this saying that I had to like it. There are reasons for me to be encouraged by it. It's mostly this is great, particularly in the same year where I was disappointed in a new entry, kind of in the same year that Evangelion finished, quote unquote. It's also cool to have a Cowboy Bebop, even though it wasn't that good, and a Matrix movie. It's just cool to have. Haven't had a chance to see it yet. Probably watch it tomorrow. Yes. Folks, if you pay for the full HBO Max experience, the no ad version, you can just watch it there. I don't believe it's going to be like for that long. I think eventually the deal changes. It's because it's releasing with the theatrical release. So that is like a combo. So if you are like me, think you will never go to a movie theater again, or you just are like, hey, right now, don't really want to go to a movie theater, which I get. I stepped out of the room. What are we not spoiling? Oh, Harold, we are talking generally, but not specifically, and no spoilery, about the new Matrix movie, which I really liked. I really enjoyed it. I'm happy that it exists. I think it turned out great. Is it? The best description I read somewhere is that it is a queer mess. And that is from someone that enjoyed the movie. Because neither of those things are pejoratives. A movie can be a mess, and I think it's cool. And also, I think a big budget mess is awesome. I legitimately think that is cool. It is clearly a labor of love. It is clearly a response to, let's just say, a particular director's feelings on what some people took away from their thoughts on The Matrix. Perhaps there are some, I don't know, misguided people out there who took a weird thought on The Matrix, and that perhaps this movie is attempting to tell them to go fuck themselves. Perhaps, can't say for sure, but that's what the vibe feels like. And I really enjoyed it. I do recommend it. I don't recommend going to see it in the movie theater, because I don't recommend going to movie theaters right now. We did one. We got one done. Put that aside over there. I'm just getting out the parts that I'm going to need a lot of, which is this, and this. So I know, but now I'm like being more specific about the parts that we need. I believe that is, and then we'll need the green 2 stacks. And we'll need these. All right. And we'll need those 2. Great. So we're going to need a bunch of stuff here. We now have 1 out of 15 of these done. So we're just going to do again. We're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep doing what we do. Harold says, Harold had already said that. So this is Lord Crashton saying, I went to see Spider-Man last Friday, so that's enough theater for a while. Yeah, I mean, look, I said this. I think I'm a bit of a broken record on this. I already didn't go to the movies a lot pre-COVID. In fact, I had seen early in January, I had finally gotten around to seeing Cats. I went to a people are having a good time, kind of similar to like a midnight screening of Rocky Horror Picture Show vibe to go see Cats, because mostly to go support a friend of mine who was doing it, which was cool. And I was like, that was really fun. And then I saw Sonic. And then that was the last movie I saw because I didn't go to the movies until we got into our pandemic. So if Sonic the Hedgehog is the last movie I ever see in theaters, I honestly think that's kind of fun. I don't dislike that idea. So that might be it for me in movies for the foreseeable future. Uh, so like I haven't seen Spider-Man. I have managed, obviously no spoilers there either. I have managed to avoid people like talking very specific about it. I think that's coming. It's inevitable that people are going to get specific about movies because they need to talk about movies, and I understand that. Um, and mutant hashtags can only help so much. It does help, but it can only help so much. So I'm looking forward to got two of these done. I'm looking forward to uh, people being fucking cool about that movie, but we'll see about those movies. I should say. Good evening, Jordy. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. We're working on a wreath. Uh, getting our wreath on. So yeah, overall, I think the last movie I saw in theaters was Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, Spider-Man has an interesting theme. It focuses on that I didn't expect going in. Nice. Yeah, I am interested in seeing it. I'm not going to the movies. Westbrook says I'm sorry. Oh, to Harold about Rise of Skywalker. Look. Did I love that? No. Did I like it more than most people? Apparently, I because I didn't hate that movie, I like it more than most people who have shared their opinion on that movie. Um, I generally don't have any fucking problem with any of the Star Wars movies. Uh, I think I like them less as they go on. Um, I didn't love Solo. To me, Solo didn't need to be a movie. And that sucks because, I mean, I love Donald Glover. Donald is a friend. We have not spoken in some time. Uh, but Donald is a good dude. And look, is there an argument to be made that I would have been interested in a Lando movie more than I am interested in a Han Solo movie? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Lando origin story sounds pretty all right to me, but we didn't get that. I didn't hate what we got. My problem, I thought it was a good ending on the triple trilogy. Yeah, my problem with Rise of Skywalker is it feels like JJ went trying to undo what he could do with The Last Jedi. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Solo is fun, but it needs to just be a heist movie and not how Han got every defining character trait in one zany weekend. Yes, it needed to focus on being a full movie that's part of a universe, which is, why I did it. Yeah, I didn't necessarily love it. Um, because, yeah, it didn't feel like it felt like, well, we're exploring this character like as best we can. Um, so, yeah, I'm not like, I'm not super big on it, but whatever. Like big point, I don't feel like going back to the movie theater. If that's fine. I would probably want to see Sonic 2 in theaters. I won't, but I probably would want to see it because that would be fun to see. Because I saw Sonic 1 in theaters. But I'm okay. I'm all right. And also, like when anime, like I'm not getting any subtitled anime anywhere near me. No city near me does anything subtitled. So like the new Dragon Ball movie where I get to see like adult Gohan dressed in his like Piccolo made gear, but also with his like I'm an adult with responsibilities glasses. So I'm a big Gohan fan. So I was like, hell yeah. I don't get to see that in theaters. I mean, I guess I could see the dub in theaters, but that's not. I haven't watched any of Super Dubbed. The only part of Super Dubbed I've seen is the terribly translated, they should have known better moment that I'm not going to get into here. But it worked in the subtitle, but when they did it in the dub, someone should have gone, hey, we got to change this line. It's sounds racist. Uh, you can find that yourself. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, there's a part in the Dragon Ball Super dub sounds very racist. Uh, because of a character's name, not because of any inherent racism, seemingly. Um, the recent superhero trailer was very nice. Yeah, I agree. Solo gave me a fifth solo to fill out of my all Han team in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. There you go. Get yourself another solo. What am I gonna say? Okay, other things I want to talk to you about. This is just another Pat's gonna complain about a thing, real quick. I hate. I put a photo up of all of the bags of leaves that I raked and bagged today, and it's many, and I absolutely hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate raking leaves. I want it to be done. I can't. There are many reasons why I can't wait to get back to an apartment living. Can't wait to get back to apartment living. And one of the biggest reasons I can't wait to get back to apartment living is not having a yard and yard responsibilities. I am so excited about that in the future, not having that because I am done with it. Not here for it anymore. I'm back to so many leaves, and then tomorrow, got to get in the car and go over to the recyclings and trash center, aka the dump. It's not really a dump. Not a traditional. It's not a landfill. It's just where people bring all their trash because you have to pay for pickup, for trash pickup, and it's very expensive. And it's easier to just go and do it yourself. Ugh, gotta do that tomorrow. That was a small little thing. I'm just mad that I have to keep having to do that. Other things I want to talk about. Um, Real quick. Let's do a traditions check-in. Oh, hate leaves. My trees can fill 10 55-gallon bags easy. Yeah, I'm at over 10 bags for this season, but like 8 today. Uh, y'all aren't so far in the country. Y'all just burn your leaves. No, dirty. Can't burn those leaves. HOA. I mean, generally, no, we're not in the country, but also the HOA would fucking lose their goddamn minds if we did that shit. No, we gotta rake it and set it out. Um, gotta do it proper. Yeah, right. Um, okay, so hmm, um, I tweeted through it, but we'll talk a bit about it. Um, so went to a Christmas party on Tuesday. Wasn't sure if I was gonna go. Wasn't sure if I was like ready to talk to like people I'm not friends with, like people I barely know, uh, for a number of reasons, of course. COVID, certainly a big one, but also the idea of like talking to anyone so soon after I had just talked to like lots of people at PAX. I wasn't sure if that was something that I was gonna like feel comfortable doing, and eventually I went, and I don't regret going, but as you know, I'm in South Carolina here, and everybody there was vaccinated. Now, not everybody was boosted, which is bizarre to me, but whatever. Um, and at first, I was very happy. Coincidentally, playing a game called HOA. Nice. Um, I was pleased to be there, seeing people that I haven't seen in a little bit. Nice people. Don't want to talk to. Also, there were the thing with this neighborhood is that it is not explicitly a retirement community, but it is where a lot of retired folks, including my parents, have ended up. So you end up with a lot of people from the north, just like my parents, from Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, uh, and fine. So I met a nice couple. She grew up in the city. They lived in Yonkers before they retired. She's not retired. He is. They came down here. Seemed nice. Everybody seemed fine, but drinks in, and politeness kind of goes out the window a bit. and I just had to go to the bathroom a lot because I couldn't be the person that ruined the holiday party. Could not be the person that, because it'll be for years. And the people that host this party are dear friends of my parents, and it's not fair to them. And they also agree more, like, this is not a ridiculous statement to make. I'm sure you guys recognize this. I was certainly the most liberal person there. Um, but like, oh boy. And I don't want to get too into like the nonsense that I heard. Um, I mean, the numbers in New York are made up to question mark, you know, like, okay. And, well, once you had COVID, I don't even know why we're bothering with this stuff. It's just like everybody should just get it. And it's like, what are you fucking talking about? Just like a lot of stuff that I was just. Oh, also, I mentioned this before, probably maybe in chat, maybe not, or maybe on my Twitter and not here in chat. But like, um, there's a certain thing that comes with age and not your particular beliefs or like where you fall in the liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, libertarian, whatever. But like as you get older, um, property values start meaning a lot more to you. And I've known young people who are homeowners that don't give a shit about like if the Best Buy got busted up. Um, but even older people, not old, but older people I know who like have rented their whole life. It just becomes a thing as you get older. You just care so much more about property. Like there were folks that night that just don't seem to. There's no way I could convince them that Seattle and Portland aren't currently on fire. Like that's just a thing they know. They just know that it's like a lawless hellhole, and that like, oh well, the police are told they can't do anything. They just have to watch it happen, and it's like, I don't know how I can convince you that like that's just not true. That's just like not a thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's what is it? You're like, okay, I'm just gonna get up and go to the bathroom. Oh, there's some food in the other room. I'm just gonna go eat some peanuts over here, and then I'll pop back in and like go talk to some other people because like I can't. This isn't my home, so I can't ask you to leave. Kind of a vibe. It was just like a fucking lot. It's just a lot. Um, I get that, but I'm pro stir. I'll start that discussion. See, there's the thing, right? Some of these folks are not my parents' friends, but some of them are. But they're somebody's friends. Everybody's friends with somebody there, and that's just not like I'm the one that is staying with my folks uh here, and I'm grateful, and like I'm just not going to be that guy. I got into it with my aunt and uncle that were visiting because it was in this house, and that's to me, I'm going to get into it. Uh, but that other than that, yeah, that's just not. This is not a thing that I'm gonna do. Report from Portland. We are not on fire. Wrist fan. Happy to hear that. The thing that I knew to be true anyway. But yes, still happy to hear from confirmation. Got a starship up, so that's like the meme video, the argument over the Wizard of Oz. That's the thing, right? Like, um, in general, I agree with you. Now, if I am directly questioned on my opinion, I'll give my fucking opinion. But there's a difference between that and two people over there. Uh, well, yeah, Aristocrat, I totally have the right to. What I'm saying is, um, uh, if asked directly, you got it. But I am not going to shout over people who are just steadfast in their nonsense beliefs about things. And like He's just never. It's just not going to do anything. Like I said, point directly to me. Like a person at that thing asked me because I have been to New York the closest of anyone there and had lived there for 20 years. Said, um, now I heard that they're shutting down a lot of the theaters, and I said, yeah, that's voluntary. A lot of like music venues are like it's not the music venues, it's the artists, but a lot of people are just like easing back because there are a lot of cases there. Um, and then someone said something like, like, do you think they'll shut down? And I started to say it will be like unions will say, hey, we want to take a break. Businesses will say, hey, we're going to take a pause. It won't be the government, local government stepping in. And I think that's true in a lot of places. And then that led to people with their beliefs about how you don't shut down an economy, which is, again, sure. I got asked my personal opinion. I gave my personal opinion. I tried to be civil about it. I didn't get into my own beliefs about it. I didn't even follow up with, and I think that we should be shut down. I think the government should be sending us tests, and the government should be subsidizing things. The government should be bailing out businesses that had to be shut down. I think a lot of that shit. Um, uh, but I'm not going to say that. I just answered the question that was asked of me. It was what my thoughts were about if I thought that there was going to be another shutdown in New York. And again, that is my opinion that there will be like, uh, I don't think there's ever going to be another full scale thing that like there was, but I think there will be a lot of like, out of abundance of caution, we're going to take a couple weeks to figure things out. I think that's going to be happening a lot. Um, uh, Also understand floating a boat all just to survive the gathering. Yeah, a little bit of that. Uh, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think survival is a thing, right? It is a survival, but like, look, there are people there that I don't care if they have a negative opinion of me. I can't care about what they think of me. It doesn't matter to me, right? But there are people there that matter to my parents, and that matters to me. And like I said, it was like if this had been at somebody's house that they weren't close with, but these are like some of their best friends down here were hosting this thing. Now, did they need to invite people that I think are not um, all together there? No, they made the choice to invite some people that I think were like people I want to talk to. But that's my opinion of it. I don't know. I know I can't speak for anyone else on that. Um, I'm always going to be the hippie liberal New Yorker Pat. Like that's just going to be who I am. And again, it is funny to me when talking about that when there are so many people there that are from New York or from uh, uh, Connecticut, New Jersey, which is not doesn't necessarily make them liberal by any means. But it is funny to see all these like Northerners. I have said the only Confederate flag I have seen in this neighborhood is in the garage of a retired police officer from New Jersey, who retired after my parents got down here. So he's been here less than 10 years. But that's the only uh, rebel flag I've seen anywhere is inside the garage of that fucking dude. So whatever. Um, I get the number one question I get is, so when are you going back? And that's not like a stuck up. That's like a assumed by people that like that's not like, hey, get out. That's not someone trying to get me out of town. It's a genuine question. I mean, the big thing is just like um actual Southerners, which I don't really meet too much of, but I do meet in conversations because, like, I applied for work down here, and so people do small talk, like Zoom small talk. So I did get like, like, have you ever been like, were you ever like in trouble in New York? Do you ever get like, robbed or anything like that? And I've said, no, never been robbed, never felt. I have felt unsafe at night in New York, but I've also felt unsafe in my hometown at night. Like that's not the only time. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I get some of that. You know, I get like, oh, well, you must have been. You know, I get a few people like, oh, I worked in the theater, so you must have seen like 100 shows, which I've seen. You know, a few, but not that many. Because the thing I always said was, hey, I was working at night, and also I wasn't making money to go like see Broadway shows every week. I wasn't making that kind of dough. Um, but yeah, I mean, I get some stereotypical stuff like that. I do get the you must hate the food down here, and that's not true. There are some things that aren't done well around here, but then there's some kinds of food that I can't get other places that's done very good. I will say this: the barbecue down here is definitely pig based and beef based, and there's just no good fried chicken down here. I've had okay fried chicken, but no good fried chicken, and that was very surprising to me. I legitimately thought that I would get that would just be part of it, and it's not. It's weird for me to say that I've had better fried chicken in New York City than I have in South Carolina. Um, and maybe I haven't found the right place. Maybe there is a hidden place that's great. I mean, I'll say this: I miss like good Japanese. There's an okay Japanese place here. I haven't been there yet. I heard there there's no Thai in this town. There's no Vietnamese in this town. Uh, there are two Indian places, and both of them are poorly rated on Yelp. And I don't know if that's for like that they're actually bad places or if just like people went there not knowing what they were going to get and were disappointed. But like, I don't know. Both of them seem to not be great, but maybe they are great. I don't know. So yeah, so those are the kind of like quote unquote typical New York stuff that I get, you know, asked a bit about. Is the food stuff and like, oh, you must miss it. And it's like, well, yeah, I do. Um, Nobody has asked me if I know so and so, which is great because that happened a lot in the that's specifically I think more about comedy than it is about New York. But like people will be like, "Oh, I know you do New York. Do you like comedy in New York? Do you know so and so?" And I never know if that's like somebody's relative or if it's a famous stand-up comedian or relatively well-known comedian that I just had no contact with because they are working rooms I spend zero time in because they're not anywhere near the alt scene. So I just have no concept of who they are, or if it's just like somebody's cousin. Occasionally, some people are like, "Oh, do you know so and so?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. I do know who that is." Because the world is small. Like my buddy Tommy, um, who made Inhuman Conditions and who did my panel at PAX. His fiance brother did stuff at UCB, and I know him very well. So when he was like, "Hey, I think you know my future brother-in-law," when they were still engaged, I was like, "Yeah, he does tabletop stuff," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, sure, sure." He's like, "Yeah, is Tommy did Secret Hitler?" And I went, "Yeah, no, I just saw Tommy like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 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 I know Tommy." So it is just like sometimes it is a small world, and other times it's definitely not. Um, I haven't found a place where I'm willing to sit 45 minutes in a drive-through to order fried chicken in years. Hey, do you know Keenan Thompson? Yeah, I mean that is the thing, right? Like, it's like, I mean, I've met Keenan. I don't know him. I've met him. Like, if they are somewhere within the world or they dabble in the world of alt comedy of a certain level, like uh, I have probably done something in a venue where they have performed. Uh, like I will say, um, everyone has not everyone. A lot of New York comedy people have like a good Tracy Morgan story, and here's mine. Here's my Tracy Morgan story. Um, uh, the writer's strike was happening, and there was three shows that happened at UCB that were like got to know somebody to get in, and you bought a ticket, and all the proceeds went to helping out the writers and also like the other staff people who were working because of that, right? And they were invited to come, so there'd be like the hairdressers would be there and stuff like that. It was neat. And those were 30 Rock, um, SNL, and Colbert Report. Colbert basically did like a version of it. The writers got to write stuff. Some of them did like readings from like Laura had a book, so she was doing a reading from that. That was cool. 30 Rock did a just a reading of an episode, which was fun because it's like all the big people and all there. And for some of them, they didn't get to do stage shows that often, so it was kind of nice and it was kind of fun. So I'm backstage. I'm teching the show. I teched all of them, which is great. I'm the only person who is not an NBC employee to ever tech SNL. It's a very, very weird thing to say, but it is technically true. Anyway, I'm backstage. We're on a break, and the green room's full of people. This is the 30 Rock. They did a practice before the show. Um, kind of stage it, figure it out. Tina Fey's husband, who did the music for the show, he did the theme and he did instrumentals through the whole thing. He's on stage and he's going to play live, which is neat. That's a cool thing for this reading. Anyway, they're all in the green room, so I don't want to be in anybody's way. So I go to the back hallway behind the green room to just like hang out and then also eat. And I am eating McNuggets, and I'm just standing there, just kind of eating or whatever. I'm on my phone, whatever, standing eating. And then all of a sudden, I know someone is behind me. And I don't know who is behind me, but someone is behind me. And then I just hear eating McNuggets. And I turn around and it's Tracy Morgan. And I go, yeah. And he goes, all right. And then he just turns and walks away. And I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you, but it was fucking awesome. It was cool as hell to have that weird moment where he was just like, he didn't need to say anything right there, but he did, and it was fun. And then he just like walked back to what he was doing. I didn't need to do a follow through, didn't offer him any. It was just a thing that happened. The coda to that is about 3 weeks after that, I'm sitting in Brooklyn, New York, at the courthouse because I am on grand jury duty. Not regular jury duty, grand jury duty, which means grand jury, you basically look at evidence and then you, for a bunch of different cases, and you vote if you think it should go forward to trial. You do it for like every day, but you do it like 9 to 5 every day for like 2 months or whatever, and then you don't have to do jury duty for a long time. It's fucking great. It's great because most of the time you're just seeing a bunch of stuff, and you don't have to do like guilty or not guilty. You just be like, should this go to trial? Is there enough evidence to warrant this? That's all you have to do. There's a case. They're going after a gang. They're compiling evidence, and one of the photos they're using to put together this conspiracy that they're saying got committed by these particular individuals is a photo of some of them at Benihana. And one of the photos is a bunch of these gang members, allegedly, and Tracy Morgan posing for a photo. And so at this point, we're all pretty comfortable. We've all kind of whatever. It's been like a couple weeks in. So during a recess, I go up to the district attorney because most of the time there's no judge. There's nothing. The district attorney comes in, presents some evidence. We vote, whatever. District attorney, I kind of go up and I go, hi. And now at this point, I have said, hey, I need to leave early like a week ago because I had a comedy show. So they know I do comedy stuff. And I said, hey, I just hung out with Tracy Morgan like 3 weeks ago. Is that a conflict of interest? And they were like, no. And then she went, did you just want to tell me you met Tracy Morgan? And I was like, yeah, kind of. And it was a fun little moment, but that is the coda to that story. I have met so many cool comedy people. As I said, that SNL was like, the 30 Rock was fun. That SNL fucking ruled because it was like sketches that would you eventually like that would have aired because of what was happening there. Keenan did Hip Hop Houdini, which was a desk bit that he did. He did the French rapper, the French like insult comic that would say "Je t'adore." And that was like his big catchphrase. He like that hadn't aired yet, so they were trying that out. And they did sketches that yes, Marcel. They did sketches that they couldn't use. There was one sketch that was like all of the romantic beats in a romantic comedy, so it was all sound cues that they would never be able to license that someone had written. And the very last sketch was Will Forte's audition piece that he could never do on SNL. And it was a silver painted robot guy, you know, those people that you put money in and they move around. Uh, and it's him singing a song about how desperate he is for money and how he'll. And of course, I don't know what version they had said in the script, but because it was live and not recorded for anything, it was just about he's like, I suck dick for spray paint was basically the gist of the song. And I was like, that's yeah, no wonder why that was never going to air. But apparently there had been a version of it that almost made it to air, but it was early in Will's time because the script that I had a copy of said Chris Kattan's name in it. So that was when they were still together on the show. The somewhat brief period where that happened. All right, let me count how many because we need to make 15 of these. Let me see how many I've got. I got 4. I got 6, 8, 10, 12. I got 12 of these. I need to make 3 more. We'll just take out enough to make 3 more. Actually, wait. I need to make 15 of these, but I don't have any more of these. I only have worth 2 to make 2 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I need to make 2 more. Okay. But I need to make 3 more. I need to make 2 more. Great. Well, yeah, that was really cool doing this thing. Like, they did that Iran instead of Iran. It was about Iran. That was the Lonely Island thing because they got like Alicia Keys to come by and sing her part of that, which is just weird. It was a good time. I got to check a live version of Debbie Downer because Rachel was in town to do the 30 Rock thing, so she also came by SNL. There was like Horatio Sands and Rachel Dratch were like the people that had like not been there or they that had like come by specifically to do extra bits. And Amy did bits, but she might have still been on the show, but I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, I got to do the sound effects for a Debbie Downer sketch, which was very fun. And then Rachel said, "Good job" afterwards, and I appreciate that. She didn't have to say that. Um, there is a documentary of that, like behind the scenes of that, and there's a shot of me in it, and it lists my name in the credits. So I love that. Well, yeah, womp womp womp, and there were like different sound effects. It was fun. I don't. Um, Daryl didn't do the show. Daryl did the show, but he didn't do any of the sketches. He just played, and this is before he took over to be the announcer. He just did Don Pardo because Don Pardo. Uh, Fun thing about Rest in Peace Don Pardo was that he flew in from Arizona every week to do the show because they only needed him for the live show. And sometimes he would record things like pre-tape like announcements they would record from home. But he would just fly in, so they didn't fly him in just to do that show because that would have been weird. So yeah, so Daryl did like the intro and stuff. It was really fun. That was a really fun, strange live experience. Uh, but yeah, and then like I said, the Colbert one was kind of fun. It was just like an episode of Colbert. And the 30 Rock was neat because it was like an episode that hadn't been like they had written but hadn't recorded yet because of the strike. And so that was kind of fun to see. Good job with that. Did I mess something up here? Yes, I did. I was like, this doesn't seem tall enough, and it's because I didn't put on this part here. I knew immediately there was something wrong because I've done so many of these at this point. I was like, oh no, this is wrong. I can just tell. Um, let's see what else we got here. Before we take our pause to the calls, let's just really check in here. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I hope everyone's gonna look. If you got people to be with, I hope you're with them and you have a great time. If you don't have people to be with, I hope you have a fine Friday night. That's the best I can hope for all you. I hope it is just like a good holiday or a good, if you got some time off, then great, enjoy that. If you don't have any time off, I'm sorry. If you're working, I hope that everything is cool. Um, uh, Yeah, I don't have anything really planned tomorrow. We're gonna open presents in the evening, which we normally do on Christmas Eve. I'll wear this hat, hand out presents to my folks, and I'll open presents. It'll be nice. Um, then we'll have dinner. My dad's making lasagna. We got some crab legs coming. That's our Christmas Eve dinner for the last several years. We've been doing that. All right, I built all these now. All these are built, and then there's this one too. Now I think we can do assembly. Yes, we're gonna assemble. Hell yeah, we're gonna assemble. So we're just attaching all these, and I attach this one on the end. So we'll just do this on the end here and attach all of them, and then we can start clicking them together. Nice and fun. But yeah, let me know. If you got any like, do you have any? Does anybody here have Christmas Eve traditions? Do you have anything you normally do like today? We don't really have anything except like go buy the something at the grocery store that we completely messed up and didn't get we're supposed to get, which we're doing tomorrow instead, which is for my dad's lasagna. We need ground beef. We thought we had it. We don't. So we got to get more ground beef. But yeah, let me know if you got anything you normally do here or what you're doing tomorrow if you're doing anything. You're with people, if you're with family, if you're alone, and just like whatever, it's just going to be a Friday or whatever. Remember to start thawing the ham. Indeed. Are you going to make your dad wait until Christmas to unwrap the grill? So yeah, if you saw my Twitter post about that, my dad's big Christmas gift this year is it is a charcoal grill. It's just a tall grill, and it's got a little table on the side, and it's got like a warming rack inside of it, which I love those. Um, but he went and picked it out, and then it's too big to wrap. But we did put a bow and like a little bit of ribbon on it, which is silly but fun. Um, all right, that is bag one. I already did all the bags because forget that. But now bag two, we're gonna start building the wreath out by adding a bunch of stuff here. But we did. This is our wreath. I mean, I guess at this point you could hang it somewhere, and this board probably won't break. But I would probably use fishing line or something. But yeah, we did assemble this, and it is technically a circle. It's got a little give to it, but yeah, this is technically a circle. And now we just got to do two of these here. We're just gonna start putting some leaves together, I guess. Here, and some of these. Great. Four of these. Great. Um, used to go to one of my grandparents' house for Xmas Eve. They passed away a few years ago. Now it's Christmas Day thing. I hear you. Really festive Stargate. Yes, this is our festive Stargate indeed. Harold says there are a few years where my parents were helping to raise our cousins' kids, and we used to do Christmas with them on the 23rd and called it Kidsmas. Nice, I like that. Yeah, we growing up, we had Christmas Eve and Christmas Day were both very big. Here, just the three of us now. It used to be in Connecticut towards the end before my parents moved. I would come visit, and then like my uncle would come on Christmas Day, or my cousin Paul, his birthday is Christmas Day, so we used to do like it was fun because we would do like Christmas dinner, and then we would do presents, and then we would have birthday cake, like an ice cream cake, and celebrate Paul's birthday. And that would be, and there'd be other desserts, but then we would have like the ice cream cake because of Paul, as a way to kind of like celebrate something for him, to give him some kind of specialness to the fact that it was his day, that it was his birthday. Um, and now it's just the three of us, and we're gonna have Christmas Eve stuff. Also, I used to go with my mom to like 10 p.m. or midnight mass, depending on where it was. Sometimes it would be the mass in Latin, but often it would be the just like a lot more music than normal, and that was somewhat of a concession because it encouraged me to go to mass, which I was wondering if that was something I was going to do in my life. And now it doesn't come up in conversation anymore, which is great because it means that we don't have to have the conversation. We just, one year, I was just like, I don't think I'm going to go to that. And you can go early on Christmas Day. And that was it. And it's great. Because I don't, don't want to go to organized religious ceremonies outside of weddings and funerals. Go to yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. Weddings and funerals, if they're going to be religious because the people are religious, sure, sounds all right. Sounds like a thing I'll go to. Other than that, I think I'm okay. Um, so yeah, my mom's gonna get up early and go to Christmas mass, and that's fine by me. She can do that. Okay, we're gonna turn this around. So we go there, and now we've got to do basically all the other parts here outside of this. We got to do with these were with black. I don't know why. The rest of them are all with green. So we're gonna get a bunch of these out here, and we're gonna be doing this 14 times. Because there are 16 of these things. So we gotta do this 14 times. So I'm gonna get all these out here. I don't know if these are all that I need, but whatever. Then a bunch of these. Like I said, we'll take a pause for the calls in a couple minutes. So I'll get this started at least. We might finish this tonight. Well, I don't know. We might actually do this all in one night because, like I said, it's 500 something pieces, but not all these pieces are going to be for this kit. Like, we won't use any of this because that is for the alternate version of this kit. We also might get like close to finishing the Lego set and then finish it up on Saturday and then go back to the other kit we were working on, which I'm also okay with. I'm fine with either thing. I definitely don't want it to, no matter what, we'll wrap this up on Saturday because I don't want to go past that. I don't want to be doing this on like 2 days later. That would just be weird. All right, so this is just gonna go. Oh, look at that. But what did I do wrong? Okay, this goes like this. It goes like that. Okay, there it goes. It went in. Didn't want to at first. I don't know why. But yeah. Um, happy to have a quiet Christmas. Do I miss snow around the Christmas season? I mean, sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I do. I certainly miss my friends. Uh, Now, I would have missed one of my big Christmas parties that I love going to that my friend Brett and Sebastian put together. They're lovely. They're where I go for Thanksgiving back when I lived in New York and had Friendsgiving with them. But they do a big Christmas party. Now that their Christmas party was the same weekend as PAX, so I would have been in PAX Unplugged and missed the party, would have been a shame. But I do very much miss that. I miss having like a bunch of people, all of whom I like, all together, and like a few people that like. There were a few friends of theirs that I became like holiday friends with, and I would only see them at the holidays. And like that's fine. We don't need to see each other all the time, but I do miss that get together, see some people, shenanigans. It does that is the thing I miss most. Christmas in New York, I also think is lovely. It's a lovely city to be in. Um, you know, I don't find myself in Rockefeller too often, but I would go to the Rockefeller Center. Um, see the big Christmas tree. Mostly because there's just a weekend, there's a day, a Saturday in December every year where tuba players from all across the world come and play Christmas songs, and it's like 30 tubas, and they're all on the what would be the ice, but it's covered right in front of the tree, uh, playing Christmas music. But it's like I said, it's all tubas, and I found that accidentally once when my parents came to visit. We were just like walking around. They wanted to see the tree, and then we found that, and I was just like, "Oh, this is just a thing." I'm doing that every year, and so I miss that. I do miss that. I don't know if they're playing this year, but I do like I would like to see that because it was a fun, ridiculous thing that just exists. So yeah, I do miss something. I don't miss SantaCon. I certainly don't fucking miss SantaCon. I've never missed SantaCon. That sounds different. That sounds like I've been there every year. I've never looked forward to or enjoyed SantaCon. I've always been happy to avoid SantaCon. That's the specifics. Let's get to the specifics there. Had to be very clear and specific about that because it sounded like for a second that I was saying that I ever enjoyed the concept or execution of drunk nonsense people. Um, I've never missed SantaCon, indeed. So I had to be very clear about that because I don't want you to get the wrong impression of me and my beliefs. No, Local news after SantaCon is always wild. So that SantaCon is a New York City tradition of it is one of the nights of the year where you have to be ever vigilant on the subway, because when you start seeing swaying people, that's when you know vomit's going to happen. It's St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, and whenever SantaCon is happening are the holidays in New York where you got to be vigilant because people are sloppy messes, and it's terrible. Now there used to be a nonsense thing back before SantaCon became what it was. It merged with the Idiot Rod, which is the Iditarod, but for idiots. Which is, let's do this, like, let's get a bunch of people dressed like Santa in weird homemade contraptions, often stolen shopping carts with extra stuff on it, and then they would just like push people in Santa costumes like down some streets, and it would be a race. And that was good nonsense. And that merged with SantaCon and became a bar crawl when somebody got hurt, which is how those things end. And it's either how they become legends or how they end. It's like, oh, somebody got hurt, we can't do this anymore. Let's just, now it's SantaCon. And it's awful. And it's just a shit show. And it is amateur hour, just like St. Patrick's Day is amateur hour. A wise friend of mine said, St. Patrick's Day is a bunch of people drinking like I drink every day, and I don't get in fucking trouble. Of course, that person was an alcoholic and is in treatment for it, and we love that person. But yes, I thought that was wise. Yeah, it is amateur hour, and a nightmare. All of those times are a nightmare. I think New York City during the day on Halloween fucking rules, and at night it is just looking at people dressed like cats vomiting on themselves. And also, so many people are dressed in black that you can really tell what happened. That's a problem. You think it would blend right in? It doesn't. It's a real fucking nightmare. All right, so now we have outside decorations to do here. I guess we still, you know what? Yeah, we still have a lot of fucking decorations to put on this thing. You're gonna put a lot of greenery on here. Although the pages are just like, do one of these, now do another. So I'll do one of these here, and we'll move on here. We gotta get a little. Okay, so this is starting here from this piece here. So we're gonna do nice little gold there, and then this goes here. All right, yeah, that. And if this isn't perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's supposed to. We know this is Lego. We're not going to be like, ooh, look at those lovely branches you made, Pat. You made a whole wreath. No. It's Lego. You know it's Lego. It's fine. Shaq says, "Happy holidays, Pat and chat. Hope everyone and their families are safe." The same to you, and thank you very much. Also, I should point out this before we take our pause for the cause. Somebody renewed their subscription tonight and didn't hit the notification, so I don't know who did. But thank you to the person that resubbed, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Again, don't know who it was, but thanks. Okay, so now's the part of the stream where we do the pause for the cause. We're going to talk about ways you can support the channel if you're so inclined. None of this is stuff you've got to do. All of this stuff is stuff you can do. We're going to go over to the intro portion here. Hey, it's me. It's your friend Pat hanging out here. If you're new to the channel, I'm just going to be talking about ways people can support me. None of these things are things that I'm like, you gotta. But if you did, it would be cool. And I would appreciate it if that was something you want to do. Anyway, right now, let's throw the Barricade, the Lego, the Site, the Moon in chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can have those emotes in the chat. Let the people know that that's just like a small thing you get. You get the Site the Mode if you're tier 2. Starting in 2022 at some point, I don't know when, we're in negotiations, everyone's going to have access to the Site the Emote, and there'll be a new tier 2 emote. But I don't know when that's going to be yet. It's coming, though. So thank you to everybody that is a subscriber. It means a lot to me. If you'd like to become one using Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token, if you have Amazon Prime, link it to your Twitch. Use it. If you're not using it for me, use it for somebody else. But use it for me. Also, if you have been gifted a sub, you can convert that gift sub to a regular subscription, and they won't charge you until your free month is up. Gifting a sub is a great way to support not only me, but members of the community, because it means they don't see ads, and it means they might be more inclined to come back and hang out. So you could gift a sub. You could be like Sin and Aristophan and jump it there. Very much appreciate that. If that's something you're interested in doing, would love it. But not necessary. Also, bits and coins always appreciated. Would love to see some bits and coins. Just means I am always closer or at my the minimum, because you got to hit $100 a month to get a payout from Twitch. Like getting that money, it helps a lot. Alternatively, I got a Patreon, and I'll be doing a Q&A. I do a monthly Q&A that's exclusive to Patreon, and I'll be doing that towards the end. I believe this weekend. I'll probably film that. So now's a great time to throw a buck in, so you can make sure you get that. $1, $3, $5, and $10 tiers. Consider donating there. A monthly contribution. You get different rewards for different tiers. It's something. I also have a YouTube channel, which you can certainly subscribe to for free. But if you wanted to join, you could join my YouTube with the membership. It's $2 a month, and you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. That's right. I have a Wednesday series, weekly Wednesday series. I have a new one coming called "Do You Remember?" coming in January. And that one I will talk more about when we get closer to the first episode of it. But it will be interesting. I think it'll be good. Um, okay. Yeah, maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be fucking boring as hell, but I think it's kind of cool. Do you remember? Remember instead of remember. Anyway, also direct donations, because monthly that might not be your style. You might not be interested in supporting me every single month. But maybe you want to support me once in a while with a direct donation. Everything I make through direct donations, through Patreon, through YouTube, through Twitch, goes to me buying model kits. This wreath I purchased because of your generous help month to month. So I appreciate it very much. Consider it. Obviously it's all optional. I will get back to building soon. I just have to do this. I do this every stream. This is the thing that, this is me telling you ways to support what I do. I do have an Amazon wish list. The kit I'm currently working on outside of this Lego, which I'll go back to, the model kit, was bought off my Amazon wish list. And the thing applies to you. If you buy something off the wish list, I will build it ahead of my backlog. I've got a lot of high grades to build, but I'm working on this now because somebody purchased it. We'll take a look at this here. I got Lego sets. I've got high grades, master grades, inexpensive kits, incredibly expensive kits, kits that just keep fucking going up in price and then dropping in price. I try to add new stuff in every now and again. I do the best I can with that. It's a tough time right now. I just end up pre-ordering stuff these days from USA Gundam Store and Gundam Planet, and then also I've got 2 kits that I'm going to pre-order from Premium Bandai tonight, just so I have things to build, because then I'll know, like, in April I'll get these 2 high grades and I can build them at some point. So yeah, if you see something there, I'll shoot a video about it. Consider it. Alternatively, as I said, I do pre-order stuff, but also I do buy old stock from USA Gundam Store. So you could buy a gift card there, and then you could send me a code in a DM, because my DMs are open, or a whisper here on Twitch, and just be like, hey, here's the code for this gift card that I bought at USA Gundam Store. And then I'll buy something. You even be like, hey, you should buy something from, like, Gundam Build Divers. Here's the kit you haven't built from there. Or, hey, you should pre-order one of the very weird kits that are from Iron Blooded Orphans video game that they're putting out. And I'll be like, okay, sure, I guess. All right, let's see what else. Oh, I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. That's free. That's a free way to support what I do, is join my Discord. There's some nice people there. I post build photos. People post stuff that they're working on. I would also like, hey, if you get anything cool for Christmas, you want to post a photo in the general chat, do that. I'd love to see that. Because we'll be talking about that on Saturday. We'll talk about what we got for Christmas and stuff, or what we bought ourselves for Christmas. Okay, video links, and we'll get back to building. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got Pat Bear's Anime Club. I did like the big news stories from this year as far as anime, kind of centric on America, North America centric, and also Pat Bear centric stuff I'm interested in talking about. But I did make that. That's a fun video. Best of Build With Baer is, oh, I forget which one this is. I know what next week's is. What is this new one? It's a new one. So I'm literally going to click on it and I'll tell you in just a second. Can't remember what this best of Build is. Oh, this is me trying to wax poetic about like how kids can handle weird and scary, and then my theory kind of falls apart because I don't know. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. It's all right. It's all right. I mean, I'm not selling it well, but it's a fun clip. All right, we're gonna talk about some manga. No anime discussion today, uh, but that anime discussion is coming next Wednesday. Wednesday's bonus stream is going to be me doing Pat Bear's Anime Club. So I will be talking about the anime from this season, the stuff that I don't talk about weekly, the stuff that I watched, the stuff that I stopped watching, and the stuff that I never watched. And then also a preview of next season. There's going to be a lot of fucking isekai next season that I'm excited about. This season still had plenty of isekai, but it was shows that I was not interested in watching. It's weird, but true. Anyway, let's talk about some manga. We're going to go back. I'm going to drink a little water, and I'm going to hit this dramatic music. Dramatic sting in our transition. Anyway, I'm going to talk about some manga, and then we'll probably talk some video games. I feel like that'll happen anyway. The first one I want to talk about is it's a manhwa. It's Korean, um, and it's. I mean, I'll just say right off the bat, it's fine. Um, so Advanced Evolution is the story of it's a world where some people have superpowers and they go to like super school sometimes, but not all the time. But oftentimes they go to super school. But yeah, there's some people with superpowers, and our main character has like abilities, but like they're not meant for combat, and nobody really thinks they're cool or interesting because they're not combat focused. So he's got really good luck, and that means that like he can dodge some things like some attacks or whatever, and he's got like pretty good survival instincts. But when he applies for the cool extraordinary, because they call them extraordinaries, which is whatever, but he can't apply for that. He doesn't get in. He doesn't get accepted into the cool school that his friends are going to go to, and also the girl that he's interested in. He doesn't get to go to that. But what he ends up doing is he leaves that day, heading home. He's on his moped, and there is a falling meteorite. And he's like, okay, well, you know, my luck will probably prevent that from being a big deal, so I'm not going to worry about that. Well, luck is in his favor, maybe question mark. Anyway, he gets fucking hit by this meteorite, but it's got like a goddess or it is not explained too well, but uh, somebody is associated with that, and it hits him. And okay, so how does this look? Because this is gonna go like this. This is on the same one as this. Is like here. I guess it's fine if I don't quite do this right, but whatever. We'll get it together. Anyway, um, he gets hit by this meteorite, and then someone is just like, "Oh well, let's change his body so his body has some combat abilities and he's stronger." And he's in a coma for a year, which is a long time. Uh, and he wakes up from the coma, and he has abilities. He didn't just like wake up with it. He knew. He's apparently been somewhat conscious in his in his comatose state, or at least internally, and he's been training to use his new abilities. He's got healing abilities, internal healing abilities that are surprising to many people, and he also has combat abilities in that he can punch real good, and he can absorb the energy of other things in the world, elements, to change up his things. Like, you can have like, oh, there was like sulfuric acid, and he has like an acid punch. Uh, there was a thing where he has fire. You know, he's got a fire punch because there was an explosion and there's lots of fire there. The coolest to me was he got beat up a little bit, and then he used his own blood for blood punches. And I don't know how that makes them stronger, but it does. And water attacks and all that. Anyway, there's a couple close calls with people who are like technically out of his league, but he's just doing really well and like making the people that look down on him think twice about it, and maybe making some people regret, but then some people don't fucking regret thinking that he was weak, which he was. And he's just like doing an all right job. I feel like I've seen that power before. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's like the My Hero teacher who uses his own blood as his like weapon. That's certainly not a unique thing, but in this case, it's just like, okay, sure, dude. I don't think I'm gonna keep reading this. I'm waiting for like, I don't know. There were touching things like his sister isn't his actual blood related person, but it's the only person in his life, and she worked really hard to pay for his medical bills because they're both orphans. So she worked a lot so that she could pay for him to be on life support for a year. And there were some friends of his that created a collection to help pay for treatments. And it's like, okay, there's some stuff going on here that's kind of interesting, but we don't know how he trains. There's no like what was that world he was in when he was training in his mind to use these abilities. We never actually see that. Maybe we will at some point, but it's kind of weird that we don't. And then like, yeah, it's just like kind of blah. The art's fine, I guess is a good say. Um, it is what it is. Uh, I don't love it. I don't think I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm not caught up with where it is in the story, but I was like, yeah, I think I'm good. Um, okay, and then also former general is Undead Knight. This is one that's been around for a while, and I just never got to it. And now I'm reading it, and I think it's pretty okay. Um, okay, so this is kind of a weird one. So it is in some ways very typical, and it is the character is betrayed and then reincarnated, right? But a little bit of a twist. Our main character in this story, he was a knight, and he was like a general. He was really high up in the army. He's like the strongest person in the kingdom. The war is coming to an end. The countries are being unified, and his work here is done, right? But there's this feeling. There's this feeling in amongst like maybe it's people speaking into his ear. Maybe it's people who, have had a grudge. Or maybe it's people who are scared. But the king gets convinced, or is convinced on his own. We don't really get too much on that. The king is convinced that our dude, our main character here, is plotting against him. He's going to plot against him. And he is trying to take over the country for himself. And our dude like loves this kingdom. He is fucking psyched about it. He's happy for the service, and he's just like, "What? No, I wouldn't do that. I'm not here for that." But anyway, he gets killed, and he gets like stabbed and then pushed off a cliff, and ends up in like basically he gets placed where they murder and then throw. It's like a cliff where they throw bodies down into like whatever. It's placed where people get assassinated. Either for political reasons or whatever. And so he's dead, and he's there for a very long time. And then two fucking creepo necromancers show up and resurrect him. And I don't know if they ever had control over him, but they certainly lose control over it when they start talking about how they're going to use him to destroy the kingdom. Well, that doesn't fly with our dude. So he breaks free of their control, or if he was never under their control in the first place, kills both of them, and he's just like, I've been gone a long time. Oh, also, I'm a skeleton. Whoop, I'm an undead person. I got miasma coming out of me. I gotta like stifle that. I'm gonna go and help people, I guess. Like he immediately kills a bunch of bandits brutally, and they're just like, what the fuck is happening? What's going on? Who is this guy? Who is this person? What is this? What's happening? They are caught very much off guard. Uh, it seems to be somewhat of a lawless place in many instances. Uh, okay, so this got to go. Well, no, no, okay. I'm like trying to layer this like it wants me to. Oh, I did this wrong. Okay, so this is gonna go. That's gonna go here. Got it. Push this over too far. Layer these things. That. Then we'll layer that like that. Got it. Nope. Sorry. Anyway, uh, it's kind of interesting. He does meet this like, he's always in armor. He doesn't show his face. He says he's like, oh well, I'm scarred, so I don't want anyone to see my scars. But he is just a killing machine, and of course, some of the guilds are corrupt. So he like doesn't give them any time, and they're like, "Don't you know who we are?" And he's just like, "No." Also, you're weak, and so I'm not worried. Uh, it kills a lot of people. One of the kind of new adventures that he meets reminds him a lot of the princess. And so I'm like, well, does she just look like that, or is there some kind of like hidden bloodline thing? And is that going to like be a problem? Because it is interesting that uh, even though he was murdered by his king and his name has been tarnished, and like the story is that he was a traitor, which he's no, but that is the big story. It's kind of interesting that he's just like, yeah, I still love this place. I'm still psyched that this kingdom, is around, but well, we got to fix some stuff because some stuff went wrong here. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm like of two minds about it. I think that like some of it's interesting. I think it's got brutal art, and I don't dislike brutal art. Uh, I think that's kind of cool that the art is so brutal. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm like super into it or sort of into it or what. Uh, hey, welcome, Lysander. So I would say maybe check out Former General is Undead Knight because I do think there's something interesting about it. I just don't know if it's like 100% worth your time or energy. But I am interested in it, and I'll probably keep reading it. All right, now for some game talk. Now that we got the manga talk out of the way, manga and uh, oh, Lord Crashington wants me to play some ska using the channel points. Here's some ska for you. Thank you for using your channel points on ska. Oh yeah, so that was what we talked about. Maybe check out Spirit Farmer. It's a cute manhwa. Oh, I'll check the Dirty. I'll add that to the list. Spirit Farmer. Okay, I will add that to my list. Yeah, so that's what we talked about tonight, Lysander. Advanced Evolution, which I don't think I'm going to keep reading, which is the manhwa, and Former General is Undead Knight, which was interesting. I'm going to add to my checkout list Spirit Farmer. Okay. Got a few things that I still have not checked out, and of course, things I'm waiting for there to be more chapters before I talk about. I get some romantic comedy stuff that I want to check out because I talk a lot about action things, and those are things that I typically, enjoy. So I do want to branch out because I got a couple romantic comedy things to chat about. That would be good. I do want to do that too. Anyway, video game stuff. Hey, the gunk is pretty fun. I don't know if it's like great, but it's good. I think that the gunk is like a good video game. So that's my big ringing endorsement for the Gunk. It's pretty good. I had fun playing it. Um, Thought that was very gunky. Yeah, it's very gunky. I don't think it's too long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it was fun to play. Um, so I was pretty into it, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't really have a lot more to say about it. Totally okay video game. And of course, I'm just playing more fucking Halo. I am celebrating the fact that I have a crew that wants to play Halo and has not tired of playing Halo, and I don't know when that's going to stop and end. So I am enjoying the time I do have with people that want to play Halo with me. Because at some point they'll move on to another shooter or something, or they just won't make time for it. This is all falling apart here. I'm trying to keep this all together, but I may have some of these too close to one another or something's going on here. Okay, that looks all right. I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of hard to get this perfect, exactly where they want you to put these pieces. That feels a little difficult, but I'm still enjoying this, so I think it's all right. Okay, and I gotta do one of these here. It's a good 5 hours game on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, maybe check it out or don't. Yeah, that's the thing. The Gunk. Yeah, check it out on Game Pass. That is a good place to go there. But yeah, I'm really enjoying more time with Halo. I'm really having a good time playing Halo with people with my crew. So that's been fun, and I'm playing more Hearthstone. I'm still enjoying Hearthstone. I got a wild deck that I really like. I got a dual paladin deck because there's some new big paladin cards that are fun. So that's been nice. I got a standard deck that is play elementals, and then the next turn play an 8/8 for every elemental that you had. And so you can just fill the board with a bunch of 8/8s, and your opponent is not prepared for that. Uh, and I got a Shaman deck and another Evolved Shaman deck because I absolutely adore Evolved Shaman. I have such a good time with that deck. So got a new version of that because there's a couple things. Not this expansion has a few things that are okay, but the last mini set had a card that I really liked in this. So I've been doing that. Those are my three big decks. My dual deck is doing real good. Uh, it doesn't always do great, but it does usually do okay. It's yeah, it's fine. Um, I just tweaked it a little bit about what big minions are in there. Uh, but yeah, what are y'all playing? What are you doing? We got going on? Some people are on Christmas break, which rules. Welcome to Christmas break. So yeah, let me know what you are getting into. What are you up to on this holidays? You catching up on some old stuff. You playing some new favorites. You checking out stuff. You're starting to read people's game of the year lists, and you're like, oh, what's this indie game I've never heard of? I know Fanbyte has been putting up their game list. Uh, I have not gotten to the point yet where I'm starting to hear about the games from this year that Nextlander liked. They're at the point in the podcast I'm at. They are just going through their old years list. Playing Inscription right now, and so far I'm not feeling Act 3. So last week, I don't, no spoilers here. Act 3 has the best moment in that game is in Act 3, in my opinion. I know a lot of people didn't really like Act 3. I thought it was fine. But there is a moment in there that is, to me, unbelievably great. So I hope you get to that moment, and I hope it hits you right. I don't know if it will. But yeah, there's something in there I really liked. Deciding on what my winter break is going to be. Hell yeah. Harold's playing a lot of Forza. Enjoy. Yes, enjoy the Forza. Um, I mentioned this on Twitter, and so I'll say it here because it does occasionally bear repeating. Hey, um, Hitman 3 came out in January, and I'm not seeing it on a list. Now, is it the best of these three Hitman? No. Is it still fucking good? Yeah. Still has they take risks. Now, do I think the last level is kind of more of just like an epilogue and kind of not really necessary? and maybe not great. Yeah, it's not like how I like to play to play it best. But overall, I think that Hitman 3 fucking ruled, and I am sad that it is not on more people's lists because it is still a very fucking good Hitman game. Uh, Started a new play of Spiritfarer now that the final free DLC has come out. Oh, nice! I didn't know that the DLC came out with that. Cool. And then Dirty might be playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 or Final Fantasy 7 remake. Um, Both good choices for like a good deep game to get into. Good luck to you, my friend. Okay, gonna go in there. I hope you pick a game and you're excited about playing it. But yeah, Hitman 3 was really good. I've never talked about Loop Hero on this stream, and that was just like a really pleasant experience. I just wrapped that up. Loop Hero was really good. Of course, Chicory fucking ruled. Chicory is probably my favorite game this year. I don't want to say like for sure because I'm not doing a top 10 list, but like Chicory's at the top of that. Psychonauts 2 was great. Um, let's see. Of course, Power Wash Simulator is probably the game I put the most time into on stream. Um, uh, but you know, and the game I put the most time into on my own time is probably Hearthstone. But yeah, I mean, like there were some good things. Um, Someday I would like to finish Boyfriend Dungeon because I just kind of lost interest in Boyfriend Dungeon. I didn't finish it. Still haven't played Get in the Car Loser, which is a short experience, but I would like to play Get in the Car Loser because I know that I would enjoy it. Lord Crescent just got an SSD that I installed on my PS5. Hell yeah, which went well, so I can have more stuff installed on it. Nice, good, good for you, buddy. Hell yeah. All right, so we're doing more of this. So this is basically like the rest of this kit is just slowly applying all of this here, um, which is fine. This is fine by me. And then eventually we got to put a bow. And I think the bow goes on this. No, the bow goes up here, right? Yeah, bow's got to go at the top. You can see it in the photo. Bow's got to go there. You know, it's above. So I don't think we're gonna finish this tonight, but we'll definitely finish it on Saturday. But yeah, I just don't think we're gonna complete this. A lot of layers. I mean, that's the thing, right? You know, we don't want to be done fast, but I take our time with it. Let's see other video games. Let me go and look at my tweet to see if there was anything else. You know, Inscription, where we talked about that, which absolutely rules. Let's see. Oh yeah, because I wrote, you know, I tweeted out. Hitman 3, Halo Infinite, of course, Halo Infinite, you know, a late contender. Um, uh, don't even care about the single player too much. Love the multiplayer. Psychonauts 2, Power Wash Simulator, Unpacking. Unpacking was such a great game. That was such a good time. I had a lot of fun playing Unpacking. Would recommend that if you haven't picked that up. If you were playing it and you stopped because you felt like there was some kind of like dread, don't worry about it. I'll tell you that. I'm not spoiling anything when I tell you. It's just cool. So people read into that game more than they need to. It is trying to say something, but it's not trying to like fuck with you. It's a good time. I did really enjoy that. If you have Game Pass, check out Lake, which is a narrative game where you spend time delivering mail in a small town in Oregon in the 80s. Yes, that is, you were on vacation from your job and you pick up your dad's like mail route for a little while. And it is like 80s and yeah, narrative driven game that I did the demo of and then never played. So that is also my like, you know, I say, oh, this will be the game that I play in next year, but who knows when I'll actually play it. But that is definitely a game that I would like to play at some point. I don't know if it's a 2022 game or whatever, but that is a game that I would like to check out in the future. I want to play Lake. I'm still. Oh, this is Ghost. Hey, Ghost, Val. I'm still on my B4B kick and Final Fantasy 14 when I can. Hell yeah. Back for Blood. I beat it and it's pretty fun. Chill time. Nice, Lord Crashington. Um, I would love to go back into Back for Blood. But my crew for Back for Blood was my like years ago. It was some people that used to play like some of those kinds of games, and I would play a little bit because I like Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. And my crew just like we did not enjoy our time in Back for Blood, and we were done with Back for Blood. And I haven't really gone back since my crew like clearly kind of stopped going for it. My Halo crew, we have a Discord. I said that weird. I said Discord like Discord. We have a Discord, um, which is great. It's great to have that. Um, uh, but yeah, we got a Discord set up with for everybody, and it's constantly people just being like, "Hey, who's around?" And then somebody will be like, "Yeah," or "Hey, who?" A lot of times it'll be like, "Hey, who wants to do this in a couple hours?" Like, who's around at 8 p.m. Eastern? And I'll be like, if it was 7 p.m., I could play for a couple hours before stream, and then we'll see if we can get a few people together or whatever. That's been really fun. Um, and I think it was like 15 people in the Discord that all know each other. Everybody knows somebody. There's a couple people that I don't know super well, but like they know a few people. And the main thing is that everybody is fucking chill. And people get angry about like losing a game of capture the flag or something. Um, but nobody gets angry at like people's play because we all understand who we are and who's playing what and like what our deal is. Like we're aware of the levels that we are at, which I appreciate very much. There's just like good responsibility amongst people. Okay, so how do these all go? So this one goes on here like this. This one go. I will say I would love, it's like here's an arrow, but all of this like looks identical. So it is sometimes a little weird to be like, yeah, and this goes here. Where's here? At a certain point, this all just looks fucking green. I imagine it's this one. Okay. Okay. All right. This goes. Yeah, I imagine it goes. There it goes. Okay. That. That goes here. All right. Oops. I okay. Yeah. So sorry, I was just saying, and that goes here, which is not entertaining at all. There's nothing entertaining about that. All right, we did one side of this, and now I'm doing the other side. So yeah, we're definitely not finishing this up tonight, which is okay. I didn't necessarily expect us to wrap this up, but I'm liking it so far. It was kind of fun to build this thing, and now we're just doing the decorating. Uh, um, yeah. So get in the car, loser, which is a fairly short game. I believe it was free on itch. It might still be free. I don't know. Um, so that's what I want to check out. Lake is something that I want to check out because I played the demo, but never played anything else. I don't know if there's any other games. Like right now, I'm just gonna look at people's like things, and be like, oh, is that a free itch thing, or is it that free with Game Pass, or is that like on sale? I'm gonna be looking at people's top 10 lists. Giant Bomb's doing their stuff in beginning of January, so that'll give more time for people to try out some other things. And then, yeah, I'll be listening to Nextlander. I mean, I listen to the podcast, so I'm pretty sure I know what some of the folks are into. But it's still cool to hear what people are playing. Especially sometimes they don't talk about it necessarily on the podcast. They're just playing it on their streams, and I don't catch a lot of Nextlander streams because the Nextlander streams are during the day, and that's not necessarily when I'm. Usually when I'm doing other things, and I have just like music playing or random YouTube videos I don't care about. So I don't always catch completely up on what Nextlander is into. Uh, and there's some stuff coming in from Waypoint as well, so I'll be hearing what some of them are into, which is fun. Of course, they talk about those generally week to week. So I know right now it's just like Patrick is just like playing a bunch of shit that because he does his like hey, what did I miss this year? Uh, which I always like because he usually gets some cool responses to that. And then he'll recommend a bunch of stuff I haven't heard of, which is fun. So my January will be good. I need to listen to the Fire Escape 6 hour Game of the Year podcast. I don't. I like the Fire Escape folks very very much. I do not need to hear an hour question mark of Mary and argue that they shouldn't include the director's cut of fucking Kojima's nonsense Death Stranding because it's director's cut, so that means it should be in there. Like maybe that's entertaining for some people. That ain't entertaining for me. I don't need that in my life. I like them very much. I enjoyed that podcast. I don't need that shit. Skip that right now. I don't need their game of the year discussion. I'm good. Um, I want to listen to it for that Death Stranding bit, but I kind of miss people being Knives Out game of the year. See, that's the thing, Lashbrook. I've never been into that. I want people to be like I want people to express themselves and fight for the things they think are good and use their words. I think that's all valid and cool, but I'm not here for like people who are friends and coworkers feeling bad. Like I just don't need that in my life. I'm good. I don't need that kind of shit. It's just not my thing. So I'm like, no, I'm all right. I don't need it. Um, let's see. Oh yes, Lashbrook. Premium Bandai did put some stuff up. It went up just as it went live. I've got two things I'm thinking of pre-ordering. I don't even know what they're from. Um, they might be from what do you call it? A video game, I think. But I'm gonna pre-order the Black Rider and the White Rider because they both look really cool. Especially the Black Rider. It's got like these like weird like UFO style disc things coming out of its shoulders or its backpack. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks cool as hell. And the White Rider has like a giant weapon, and I'm into that to build that. But they're high grades that are like not the full mechanics. Well, Lashbrook, that's just a rebuild of the, if I remember correctly, that's just a rebuild of the full mechanics I already built, right? That's just a version of the Calamity, I think. Let me look. But I'm pretty sure that that is just an alt version of the Calamity. I think, and I don't need to build that again. I mean, I like the full mechanics. Yeah, that's the ale Calamity, right? Yeah, so it's different parts, but it's basically the Calamity. So I already built that, so I'm not going to spend $64 plus shipping to rebuild that Calamity kit. That's my opinion on it. Um, also, hey, thanks to whoever just renewed their subscription and didn't hit the button. I wish you had because I like being able to say like, hey, thanks for doing it, but that's okay. But folks always should always feel welcome to hit that thing so I get the notification so we can thank you and throw the emotes in the chat. But thank you whoever did. Cool. Yeah, so the two that I'm looking at are the Black Rider and the White Rider, which are both like $28, which is like fine. Really, really, these days for a high grade, $28 is a steal. And like I said, they ship in April of next year, which I already have the Gundam Exia Repair 2 Real Grade coming in April. And then I have three things coming in May. So next year's good. February, I get the Heart High Grade, which will be cool. But yeah, I want to pre-order the Black and the White Rider. And they're coming out the same month, so I think I'll just pre-order them together. Usually I do pre-orders separately, but since they're supposedly going to deliver both in April, I'll just do it. And like I said, I have enough stuff coming that if it gets slipped, I'll be okay. Or if it slips. And the white one, yeah, has a giant like satellite cannon looking weapon. Also, it's got a crown, but instead of just like two fins, it's got like six. Like it's an actual crown. It looks wild. So yeah, I'm looking at both those. but not the Red Rider because they'll shoot your eye out. Indeed. Yeah, the white. I think last for both the white and Red Rider look very cool. Um, but yeah, that was good to mention because I was going to mention that I'm going to do a pre-order. But none of these were like, oh, these will sell out immediately. None of them have like, none of them are Gundam wing kits. If it's a gun, here's the real truth is, if it's a premium thing for Gundam, Gundam Wing, or any super popular Gundam series, I'm probably going to pre-order like on there. It has a non-beam saber and a one-shoulder cape. Yes, Lashbrook, the White Rider has like this like cape that's like only like a partial shoulder cape, and that looks pretty rad. But it's plastic; it's not like felt or anything, and it looked pretty good. Yeah, the white one. I do like night themed kits, and this has a very like Knights of the Round Table like style to it. I enjoy that very much. But yeah, anyway, if it's a kit from like Wing, uh, then I always like I'll do it on stream or whatever I gotta do. I'm gonna pre-order it if I want it because those will go real fast. Uh, yeah, those are the two that stood out to me um, as being like this is a thing that I think I would like, so I'm gonna pick up. Um, there was an accessory that looked cool for a kit I don't own, and I was like, well, how much is that kit on the third markets? And it was like, no, I'm not getting that. I can't remember how much it was, but it was like over $100 for a master grade, and I was like, nope, I'm good. Um, we are going to raid tonight, which we'll do in a few minutes. We are going to go find someone cool out there doing some neat stuff and go hang out with them. I do want to like finish one more step on here. We're not done here. We still have more to do. We still have some of this packet left here, instructions. But we will finish off this step here, and then we will mosey on along and work on more of it on Saturday because I am streaming. I'm not taking Christmas Day off. I am streaming on Christmas Day, so I hope you'll come hang out with me for that stream. The usual 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern, around 11ish time frame. So I hope you come out and hang out for that. Because that's the next stream where we will finish this because we still have to do we still got a lot to do. You can see the photo. We still got to fill in all of this part here. We still got to build the ribbon on top. So we've got more to do on this kit. We're not done here, but we did get a lot of it done. So I'm just gonna move some Lego out of my way. And there's only so many Lego pieces left. Let's get some Lego out of my general vicinity here so we can get a good photo of this. We are going to raid. That is what we're going to do right now. I'm going to go and hit the intro thing here. We're going to go find someone cool in the community to go hang out with for a little bit. So feel free to stick around for that. Thanks for being here on this stream. We did lose some people here. We had a good number for a little while there. And then we lost a few friends, which is okay. So let's see. Who are we going to go raid? Let's see. Let me go see if they're still playing role. I want to see who's doing this. I'm checking a stream out. I don't know if we're going to raid them or not, but I'm checking out a stream that I would like to support if it is who I think it is because it's a collective stream. So I want to see who it is before we go and give them a raid. Being a little picky. But we'll find something cool. Of course, there's an ad playing right now, which I don't want to go in. So that's just annoying. Let's see. Nope. We're not rating that. Changed my mind about that particular stream. We're not gonna raid that. We're gonna go raid. Arthur Geese is playing the Gunk. I talked about the Gunk. That I played that and liked it just fine. So we're gonna go raid Arthur, who is checking out the Gunk. So feel free to come along in this raid. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you come back on Saturday as we finish up this kit, because it'll be very fun. So come back on Saturday for that. Have a great Christmas Eve tomorrow or a great Friday, whichever, whatever. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope to see you on Saturday. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.